Hello everyone, it's me again. I want to make this video for a couple of reasons. I had a few things to talk about today. So I want to talk about the Jewish claim to Palestine. And before we get to that topic, I wanted to thank you guys for the 100 subscribers. I really appreciate you guys sharing my videos and commenting and having like an interest in my channel. I'm very happy to see people are interested in my channel. I know I'm giving a different view from maybe other people. Not many people get to have a view of actual Palestinian, especially a Palestinian from Jenin. Not that that makes me any special, but it's kind of a viewpoint that is not very, very widely available. So thank you very much for the 100 subscribers. I hope this channel continues to grow. Hope that we can speak about more topics in the future. If you guys notice, I do look very different from my old self. No hate to my Iraqi bros, but I know Iraqis are known for their barbarism. Is that haircutting? Let's just say haircutting skills. They're known to kind of mess around a little bit in hairstyling. I have to give you guys a public service announcement. If you guys go to an Iraqi hairstylist, please just don't go at all. If you go to one, be like, thank you very much, see you later. No hate to my Iraqi bros, again. But Iraq is kind of known for something like, I told the dude to just take a little, just the edges off, maybe edge out my sides, and he kind of, for me, it feels like I don't even have a beard anymore. But anyway, I just want to take a comment on that. I feel kind of bad that so much of my beard has been gone away now. I really regret going to that guy, my barber. If you're watching this, thank you very much for. I mean, it can grow back, but I mean, dude, like, what did you do, man? Anyway, now to get to the actual topic of the video. So, this is why I wanted to speak about why the Israelis will never agree to a two-state solution. So here I have a few links open. So the first link that I have open is actually for the Hebrew Bible, for the Torah. And so here we have a verse from Leviticus 18, and it says, "You shall not copy the practices of the land of Egypt where you dwelt, or the land of Canaan to which I am taking you, nor shall you follow their laws." So the land of Canaan here refers to Palestine. Even in the Hebrew Bible, it's not called Israel, and they're literally referring to as the land of Canaan. Like, I am descended from the Canaanites. We were there way before any Jewish people, any Hebrew people. We were there for a long time, many years. And we were known by different names. We were known as the Canaanites, we were known as the Phoenicians. These are all the same group of people. So as you can see here in the Hebrew Bible, it's kind of saying, well, okay, God, this is their belief, is that God gave them the land of Canaan to live in. So why would they ask for a two-state solution when they believe in their religion that the whole land is theirs? They're never going to agree to a two-state solution. They believe the whole land is there. And I can pull you guys up a photo of Greater Israel. Greater Israel. And if you see the Greater Israel, the most conservative map is King David's empire, which will be all of Palestine and certain cities in Jordan, such as Amman, Irbit, Ajilon, and even parts of Lebanon, going all the way into Syria, Damascus, and well into the Levant. So this is just the most conservative map. Let's go to a more common map that I will pull up for you guys as well. If you see here, okay. So on this map we have Greater Israel's borders. Now we have a gigantic map. We have a map it's consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries. Yeah, 6 countries. So they want to take all this land. They believe all this land is given to them by God. And so this includes cities, major cities like Tabuk in Saudi Arabia, They want to even go down to like near Medina and Mecca and Saudi Arabia. They think that Basra is theirs for some reason. All the way up to Aleppo in northern Syria, all the way to Turkey. So actually, that's 7 countries. All the way down west, to Cairo. Well, just on the border of Cairo. This is like a map that I see a lot everywhere. And I'm gonna even post like a couple of these same borders but different pictures, just to prove like it's such a wide kept belief that all these countries is theirs, all this land is theirs, all these countries. You can imagine, it's like these people do not want a two-state solution. Why would they want a two-state solution when it's theirs? It's theirs. They don't consider this land to be Palestinian. They believe that God gave them this land. So why should they give away land that God gave to them? And now, to move on to another link. So we also have another link to Jewish. It's called the Jewish Virtual Library. So they're given reasons for why this land is Israeli. It should be for the Jewish people. So I have a quote from here. The Jewish people based their claim to the land of Israel on at least 4 premises. God promised the land to the patriarch Abraham. So to firstly comment on this. So Abraham is not only the father of the Hebrews, they're also the father of the Arabs. So why it's only for Hebrew people, for Jewish people, doesn't make sense to me, because if this land is for Israel, okay, if this land is for Jews, because Abraham was promised the land, why are Arabs who are also children of Abraham also not given the same respect in terms of the land? It should be God given land to us too. It's literally God given land to us too. And furthermore, Abraham, one of his wives, was an Arab Bedouin, and this means that many of like the children of they were Arabs there a long time ago. If Abraham married a Bedouin Arab himself, and then they put the second point for why this land is theirs. The Jewish people settled and developed the land. No, they did not. So this is again another lie. I'm going to have to fact check these fools as we go along. The Canaanites were there before they were Hebrew people. My DNA test says that I'm Natufian. Natufian has been there, I think, if I remember correctly, 11,000 before Christian era, BCE, 11,000. I believe 11,000, if I have it right. They've been there for many, 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 many years. Okay, and even the Canaanites were there before them, and they had a bigger impact on the Mediterranean. The Phoenicians were considered to be the first. They were the first superpower of the Mediterranean. Why? They took North Africa and settled lands there, and built cities and fought the Romans. Almost beat the Romans, and they also settled all on the coast of Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, parts of Turkey, Italy, Greece. So they even reached to Sicily and islands all along the way. You can even look this up. Look up Phoenician. If you look up Phoenician settlement, oh, my camera doesn't focus. Okay, all right. So if you look up Phoenician settlements in Italy, you're gonna have a lot. There's like literally whole cities that have been well preserved that are still there. All right. So now, point 3: the international community granted political sovereignty in Palestine to the Jewish people. That's not a claim. That's not a legitimate claim, bro. Like if I go along and put a GoFundMe or no, not a GoFundMe. Let's say I go make a poll, and I tell everybody, okay. I should have this other guy's house. I like his house. I feel like God gave me this house. I knew somebody who lived in it in the past. So I feel like this house is for me. Me only. And if people agree and they're like, yeah, sure, why not? That doesn't actually give me legitimacy just because they support my theft. Okay, just because they support me stealing does not legitimize or legalize my stealing. That's not how it works, bro. Like, where is your moral compass? You have no morals. You have to be really stupid to think that just because international community gave you sovereignty in Palestine, and they're literally calling it Palestine, by the way. And just because they give you political sovereignty, that now you can just go and kill thousands, tens of thousands of people, and take everybody's homes and lands. That's not how it works. It's stupid people. And the point number 4, the territory was captured in defensive wars. So I guess this is referring to the Israelite wars, the children of Israel, when they went to war with the Philistines and whatnot. So yes, I agree. In that time, that was a legitimate war. What they took, they kept it, they keep it. Children of Israel in that time, the children of Israel in that time, many of them had prophets, many of them had pious people. But if you look at the Israelis and the Zionists, they're nothing in common with the monotheist Jews who followed the prophetic tradition. The Jews of today do not follow the Judaic tradition as their ancestors did. They wear these giant turbans that they have to wear. I don't remember reading anywhere that Moses had to wear a giant turban. I don't remember reading ever in history that the prophets used to drink wine or legalize wine. And I don't think there's so many traditions that they have that they added in over time. They call it Jewish religion now, or Jewish tradition. But in reality, they have no actual origin to the Judaic prophetic tradition, or the religious prophets, what they used to preach. It has nothing to do with what they used to preach. And also, again, okay, so we can say that, for example, even if we use this example, that they captured in defensive wars. So wouldn't it mean then that we are also super legitimate because we captured Palestine? I mean, but even then, it kind of still doesn't make sense to me, because still we were there before the Jews. So shouldn't we be capturing the land back? Like that whole beginning of logic doesn't make sense. I can see how it makes sense for, historically speaking, for thousands of years ago, it can make sense. For today, I mean, the Israelis are not even religious. Like the Zionists are not even, they're atheists. So how can you claim to be fighting for a Jewish religion or something because God gave the land when you're an atheist? That doesn't make sense. Those are two conflicting ideas. All right. Let's go ahead and so let's go ahead and move on here to another quote. This is going to be the last quote of the video. I think I already gave enough reasonings. Well, actually, let's go more through this page, because they say a lot more stupid stuff that I just looked over real quick. The 12 tribes of Israel formed the first constitutional monarchy in Palestine about 1000 BC. Okay? Well, congratulations. My people were there far before 1000 BC. The second king, David, our prophet, first made Jerusalem the nation's capital. Okay, that's legitimate. They were, but not anymore, because they broke the laws, and they broke the laws of the Sabbath, and they were kicked out because they broke the Judaic laws. So I just wanted to put that, mention that really fast. Yes, in that time they were legitimate. They followed the correct religion. After they broke the laws and changed the laws of God, and allowed a lot of legal things to be illegal and changed illegal things to be legal, in a means to make things easier for themselves, and with zero respect to God, and disrespecting God by calling him weak, or by calling his hand weak. Yeah, he has a weak hand, or that he is a poor God, and that they're the rich. The Jews are the rich people. These are all insults to God that made them like be banned from Palestine. That's the whole reason why we have these sects today of Jews who do not believe it's even legal to have a Jewish state. So then we could continue here. Although eventually Palestine was split into two separate kingdoms, Jewish independence there lasted for 212 years. Nothing. 212 years is nothing compared to the many years that the Canaanites were there, many years that the Arabs ruled, the Ottomans ruled it, the Mamluks, the Mamluk dynasty ruled Palestine as well. What else? Who else? Romans ruled Palestine for way longer than that. So it's like, how is that justification for you to now go and murder people and take the land? It still doesn't. It's lacking logic. That's the thing. It's lacking logic. It's lacking brain. It's lacking morality. And I'm trying to compare it to America. This is almost as long as Americans have enjoyed independence in what has become known as the United States. So, okay, so they're trying to legitimize Israel because of the United States. So that's a really stupid comparison to make, because if I remember right, literally the whole reason why America exists is because they killed millions of Native Americans. And before anybody starts coming here and saying, well, they used to kill each other, yeah, every nation used to kill each other and go to war. That's fine. But when you have one ethnic group coming in from different continent, who are massacring men, women, and children, wiping out the entire population so bad that it's even causing for a whole new ice age, mini ice age. This is common history, that because of so many Native Americans dying, caused literally an ice age. That's not a good role model to see. Like, yeah, the Americans did it, so why can't we? I mean, how stupid can you possibly be? How stupid can you? And then you're comparing yourself. The Americans were colonizers, right? So if you guys were actually from Palestine, you wouldn't compare yourself to another colonizer. You would compare yourself to Native Americans, but they know they're not nothing like Native Americans. So instead, they compare themselves to the white European colonizers. How stupid! I mean, just what a stupid way to compare yourself, as supposed to be some kind of justification for taking the land. Excuse me. All right, so now we're going to go on. We're going to skip a little bit more through this and go to this quote here. All right, so here is the last quote that I think I'm going to read. So they say, many Jews were massacred by the Crusaders during the 12th century. That's true. The Crusaders were also very brain dead. They used to come, they came to the Middle East, they killed Arab Christians, Arab Muslims, they killed everybody who didn't look European, which was really brain dead of them to do. Because if you're going to another continent that's different from yours, obviously people are not going to look like you. And they did kill many Jews. Many Jews who were there, by the way, for hundreds of years under Muslim rule. And they were never massacred. Sorry, guys. Allergies. Okay, to continue. But the community rebounded in the next 2 centuries as large numbers of rabbis and Jewish pilgrims immigrated to Jerusalem and the Galilee. Okay, so they rebounded to Muslim-ruled Palestine. So somehow they had a rebound, even though a lot of Zionists today, they like to claim that they were always being oppressed and always being killed. Well, they literally here, they rebounded in large numbers over the next 2 centuries. So I don't know how that makes sense. If you gotta choose. Either you want to say that you were massacred by the Crusaders and that's why you have to have the land, or you have to say that there were no Jews there to begin with because all the Muslims were killing them. You have to choose one or the other, because these are two ideas that go against each other. Sorry again. Alright, prominent rabbis established communities in Safad, Al-Quds, Jerusalem, and elsewhere during the next 300 years, again, all under Muslim rule. By the early 19th century, years before the birth of the modern Zionist state movement, more than 10,000 Jews lived throughout what is today Israel. Yeah, 10,000 Jews is nothing compared to the hundreds of thousands of Muslims and the hundreds of thousands of Christians that lived there. And even during the time of the Crusades, Salah ad-Din, he, if you guys know about this neighborhood in Al-Quds in Jerusalem, and I'm going to make a whole separate video about this because it's a very interesting part of history. Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood. Who was Sheikh Jarrah? Sheikh Jarrah was the personal physician of Salah ad-Din. He was a Christian Palestinian Arab. And Salah ad-Din loved him so much for the help he gave him that he literally named this whole area after Sheikh Jarrah. That's why in Sheikh Jarrah you have so many Christians. Of course, Christians who are also being killed and kicked out of their houses by European Jews. So 10,000 people as a justification for Israel. Try again, because again, you had hundreds of thousands of Arabs living there. And they even admitted here in the last legitimately the last quote I'm gonna because I don't want to make this video too long. So the last quote I'm gonna include here is when they're saying, and I quote, "When Jews began to immigrate to Palestine in large numbers in 1882." Alright, so Jews began to immigrate to Palestine in large numbers in 1882. Muslim rule. Fewer than 250,000 Arabs lived there. But that's not a justification for them being natives of the land. You just said that you have a justification because 10,000 Israeli Jews lived there during Muslim rule. But 250,000 Arabs isn't enough for a justification for us. See how that doesn't make sense? Okay. And the majority of them had arrived in recent decades. Not true. Majority of Muslims there and Arabs are descended from Canaanites. Some of them are Jewish converts, Hebrew Israelites that became Muslim, and many of them were Christian Ghassanid tribes and tribes that had been there for so many years, so many years, and also far before any Jewish people or any children of Israel. Palestine was never an exclusively Arab country. Well, yeah, because Arab nationalism hadn't really existed yet. There was no Arab nationalistic state. Obviously, I mean, what kind of attack is that? It's a stupid, weak attack. There was no Arab nationalism. Arab nationalism came after they were forced to have this nationalism because of the colonial attack on our lands and our native lands by the Europeans and by the Israelis and by the Zionists. Sorry. Although Arabic gradually became the language of the most the population after Muslim invasions of the 7th century, no independent Arab or Palestinian state ever existed. Okay, so actually Arabic was not recently the language of Palestine. People were using it many years before the Muslims came. The Ghassanid tribe, Banu Ghassan, they were a famous tribe that worked with the Romans. They were speaking Arabic. They weren't speaking Chinese. They were speaking Arabic. Yes, also they spoke Aramaic. To this day, many people in Palestine speak Aramaic. Many of our names of our cities are Aramaic, and I will be happy to go through a list of our villages and cities and to prove this to you guys. Just as one off the top of my head, Ramallah. Ramallah. It's not Arabic. Ramallah means a high place in Aramaic. That's the Aramaic word. Many people speak Aramaic in cities in Syria, and there's a city called Ma'lula. They speak Aramaic. The Muslims and the Christians there speak Aramaic, and they're trying to protect that language and keep it for themselves. That's very good. I'm very happy about that because Aramaic is what Prophet Jesus spoke. He didn't speak Hebrew, he spoke Aramaic. Alright, now, and to move on. By the early 19th century, years before the birth of the modern Zionist movement, more than 10,000 Jews lived throughout what is today Israel. Oh no, sorry, I went to the wrong quote. Sorry. So, when the distinguished Arab American historian, Princeton University Professor Philip Hitti testified against partition before the Anglo-American Committee in 1946, he said there is no such thing as Palestinian history. Absolutely not. In fact, Palestine is never explicitly mentioned in the Quran. Rather, it is called the Holy Land, Al-Ard al-Muqaddasa. So it's very interesting for me that they're bringing Philip Hitti as a proof now against Palestine, because Philip Hitti was one of the biggest people who were anti-Zionist and brought the first idea of the Israelis not being natives to the land. So I'm going to make a whole separate video about Philip Hitti as well. He was a Lebanese Christian. I read a book of his as well. So he has really good information. He's a scholar. He was around for, I think he passed away in the 1940s, I believe, or the 1950s. But he was around for a long time already writing about this stuff, like as if he's living in our time today. So he definitely deserves his own video, Philip Hitti. Definitely, he has so much good information. Why would they bring a quote of somebody who literally destroyed the whole Zionist idea and ideology? And it's like they took that one quote without actually studying who Philip Hitti was. They were like, yeah, this quote is good. Look at this Arab who agrees with us. Like, no, he doesn't actually. It's just one quote, bro. Look at all the quotes that he made, and you're gonna find the truth there. Well, that's the end of the video. I didn't want to make this video too long. Just wanted to go over why the Israelis will never agree to a two-state solution. Of course, there were many other quotes I could have brought. so many quotes actually that I could have brought from the Judaic religion, but unfortunately, I don't want to just take up. I don't want to make like an hour-long video. I don't want to do that. So I just made it 25 minutes. I'm gonna end it right now. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and share and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.